completely remote, no degree, no experience required, and the pay is good. This role pays $3,000 to $4,000 per month, which is 52,000 rands to 70,000 rands. This one pays $2,000 to $2,800 per month, which is 35,000 rands to 49,000 rands. This one pays $3,000 to 3,500, and there is more. Anyone can apply, but not everyone will get hired because of two reasons. Number one, some won't apply. Some will rush the application process without understanding, motivated by the salary. The job market is crazy right now, and throwing spaghetti on the wall in hopes that one will stick is not going to help you. It's not just the act of applying that counts. Yes, that's the first step, but what's in your application matters the most. Before you start your application, you need to ask yourself 3 questions, because only then you can best tailor your application to increase your chances of getting hired. What are the core services offered by this company? Where does the role I'm interested in fit in their core services? What does the job entail? You can't effectively tailor an application for a role you don't understand or a company whose core services are unclear. This goes for any job, but today we are focusing on Infuse.com because I want you to get hired. Firstly, understand the company core services. If you go to the sales development role, for instance, which pays $3,000 to $4,000, this is their job description. The first thing some people do when they hear of jobs is read this page and click apply. With a CV already prepared a long time ago, they don't even understand what the company does or what services they provide, and they wonder why they never even get a rejection email. Start by familiarizing yourself with the company. This is the only way you'll be able to communicate your skills or strengths in alignment with their core services. Infuse.com focus on 4 things: lead generation and sales enablement, targeted marketing campaigns, customer engagement, and data solutions. Suppose a particular company sells software to small businesses. They can hire Infuse to help them identify potential customers. As an Infuse sales development representative, for instance, you would have to identify and engage those leads, aka small businesses that are likely to buy the other company's software. So you'd have to initiate contact on behalf of the other company and try to capture the interest of those potential customers. Afterwards, you'd have to qualify those leads by determining which are likely to convert. Then you pass those leads to that software company. As a marketing coordinator, if that's what you'll apply for, your focus could be on creating personalized marketing content for those leads identified by the SDRs, and someone who will apply for a business analyst or data analyst role could then be tasked to interpret that data and maybe create a report with actionable steps for the client. Junior project coordinators, which is another available role, would act as a point of contact between different teams and also assisting senior managers. By now, you have an idea of what this company does, and if the role you're interested in is in one of those I've just mentioned, you also have an idea of what your role could entail on a surface level and how it fits to the core services. As we get to the CV part, you will see why this is crucial for your success. Once you understand the first 2 points, the next thing is to break down each responsibility of the role you are applying for. Looking at the sales development representative role as an example, one key responsibility they mention here is to identify, develop, and close new businesses in a defined set of target accounts. It's simple and clear English, but what does it mean? How can breaking this responsibility down help you tailor your application? Starting with identifying new businesses in the context of an SDR at Infuse, because now you know what they do. This means you'd have to be involved in the process of acquiring new clients. The question you should ask yourself is, what skills do I think are necessary to identify new businesses? Market research is one of them, because you'd probably have to gather information about different industries, competitors, in order to find potential clients. As you identify necessary skills for each responsibility, note them down, because that's what you need to sell in your CV and cover letter. Developing new businesses, this is more on building relationships and nurturing those leads you would have identified. Of course, they will teach you their ways and how they do things, but just by looking at this, it's clear that communication skills are essential, both verbal and written. Closing new businesses. This point centers around persuading potential customers into converting or into making a purchase. Which skill is necessary? Negotiation skills, because you'd have to convince them either verbally or written, which is why the previous point indirectly touched on communication skills. But if you did not take time to break down the responsibility, you would not have realized that communication skills or negotiation skills or market research skills are necessary, and you would not include those to strengthen your application. I want you to learn how to analyze a job description so that you can craft an application that stands out. Some roles will explicitly list all the necessary skills, but guess what? Most people tend to run and only fill their CVs with those skills, and that's why some recruiters don't even consider the application, because you just copy pasted what they gave you. People don't take time to pause and think beyond what they've been given. Every time you go through a job description, ask yourself, what are the concealed skills that I can emphasize in my CV and cover letter? If you don't know how to break down a job description or responsibilities like we just did, you can even ask ChatGPT to help you, because now at least you know what you are looking for. You know how to approach an application. The thing is, with AI, it can be great if you know what you're looking for, not just copy pasting or taking the job description as is. Everyone is going to do the same thing, but if you give the AI clear prompts, step by step, you will have a different application. So don't be scared to use AI, but use it smartly. Identifying skills is one step, but remember not to just list them. Instead, outline how you acquire them and how they will add value to the company by connecting them to the core services. Now, the application. You will land on this page. The links will be in the description below. If you are in South Africa or Africa, Europe, and the Middle East, click on this option. If you are in America or other regions, click the correct region. This is important because roles are posted according to specific regions. Next, scroll down and click on Join Us. These are all the benefits. Some may depend on your country. For instance, in South Africa, there is no 401k. Here you will find all the open positions. Let's say you are applying for this role. Do not use your existing CV. Tailor it based on the role you are applying for, following the methods we discussed. Fill in your details in all the options with an asterisk. I recommend attaching your CV instead of typing it. All jobs at Infuse require you to have a LinkedIn. Make sure to link it, but if you don't have a LinkedIn, don't worry, I'll walk you through shortly. This messenger option is not compulsory, but if you want to include it, I recommend choosing WhatsApp over Telegram. Fill in your country details, languages, choose English and whatever other language you are fluent in, but pick English as the first, even if it's not your mother tongue. Here, I recommend picking indefinitely, simply because it's best to be under an indefinite contract and quit if you have to, than to be hired temporarily only to want your contract extended. Unless, of course, you know for sure that you just need a temporary job, but in that case, rather apply for those roles with contracts in brackets. Former member at Infuse, pick no unless you are. Availability, try to pick the earliest date possible because you still have to go through the interview process, so either way it's not like they're gonna hire you today. Before you submit, let's create and customize your LinkedIn account. If you have one and it's updated, feel free to jump to the next section of this video. Go to linkedin.com, click join now, put your details. Under location, put your actual country where you are right now. Under most recent job, if you were previously employed, put that. If not, put student. If you are not a student, put any informal job you've had or a job that usually doesn't need a lot of experience, like junior customer service role. You will change this later within your profile. It will also require you to write the name of the company. Just put whatever. Even if you put your name, we'll change it later. Confirm your email and click actively looking for a job and add whatever role you are most interested in. Share with recruiter, you can keep this off. Click next. If you prefer an app, scan the code, otherwise click continue. By the way, you can also do this entire process on your phone. Here, click skip for now or follow some people if you want. For companies, you are required to follow at least 5, so just pick randomly. Once you're in, it's time to update and customize your profile. First, you need a professional picture. picture. You can take it with your phone, then go to remove.bg to remove the background so that we'll replace it with a clear and clean background. Next, go to Canva, use the free option and search for LinkedIn profile. It already has the correct dimension. Click any template and add your picture. Just play around with the colors, and once you're happy with the picture, save it. Go back to Canva home and search LinkedIn banner. Click the one you like and add any text that describe you or a quote that contributes positively in telling your story to potential employers. If you are applying for sales related roles, you could write something like turning maybes into yes. If you're applying for multiple non-related roles and you don't want to commit to a specific tagline, you could write something general like expert in problem solving, coffee drinking and making things happen. You could also just add some graphics or elements, save and upload both your profile and banner on LinkedIn. Next, on your profile, click edit and update the headline. Remember, your LinkedIn is not just to apply at Infuse. It will also come in handy when other recruiters are looking for people on LinkedIn. That's why you have to use the correct keywords. If you don't have a degree or experience, or if your degree isn't relevant to the roles you're applying to, put your desired role and add enthusiast. You can still add your degree under education section even if it's not relevant to the roles you're applying for. But for the tagline, you should put keywords of what you're currently looking for. If you're applying for multiple jobs, not in the same field, maybe one job as a data AI trainer and now you want to apply for the SDR role or project coordinator, instead of putting the role in the headline, put specific skills that are transferable, such as problem solver, AI enthusiast. This covers any and every job because AI is applicable to 90% of the jobs out there. Add any other relevant skills on your headline, not too much, maybe like 3 or 4 maximum. You'll also be required to pick an industry here. Just choose the industry of the job you'd like to get the most. Under about, it tells you what you need to write. Just ask ChatGPT, give it a prompt by explaining any experience you may have or interest, and ask it to write a LinkedIn description that is not tied to one role but rather focuses on transferable skills. If you're applying within the same industry, of course, write something or ask ChatGPT to write something that is more niched. Under your about sections, more skills will be suggested. Just click the ones you think you possess or can easily learn. Add education. If you have a degree or you are currently in school, put that information. Here they only show you examples of university education, but if your highest level of education is high school, then just write XXX high school, whatever your high school name is. Skip the degree section. If you have a good GPA, put your GPA or average grade here. If you did not finish high school, again, don't worry. Jobs abroad don't care that much. You can still find an online job even without high school education. So just put that information or your highest grade. Include any relevant activities like public speaking, debates, etc. You can describe these activities. You can add skills here you acquired in high school or university. Under media, you can add a portfolio if you're applying for jobs that require a portfolio, maybe like graphic design. Make sure this notify button is off, then save. Next, edit your work info. If you don't have any experience, then just delete this section. If you have experience, even if it's not related to the job you're applying for, you can add it here just to showcase that you've held a job. But in your CV, only include jobs that are relevant or have transferable skills. Once you are done, copy the link and put it in the application, then submit. Remember what I said, some people won't apply and some will rush the process just to say they applied. Don't let that be you. Whichever role you choose to apply for, please craft your application, which is mainly your CV, to the best of your abilities. If you don't know how to communicate the skills that you possess or the skills that you've identified to be necessary for the role, please watch the CV video where I showed you step by step, especially if you don't have experience.